confirmed number of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County over the last 24 hours is 45,584, with 13 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 479 additional cases were reported with no new deaths. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Leslie Robbins. It's Monday, January 10th. LA County has seen some of its highest daily cases of COVID-19 in recent days. On Thursday, there were 37,215 cases, then 43,700 on Friday, 34,448 on Saturday, and 45,584 on Sunday. These are numbers not seen since the beginning of the pandemic. The surge is affecting many crucial sectors and sidelining healthcare workers, firefighters, police officers, and other essential employees. And complicating matters is the strain on coronavirus testing sites. Long lines can be seen all over LA County and beyond as Angelenos struggle to find appointments and rapid testing kits. LA County Public Health Director Dr. Barbara Ferrer admits many services are strained and the healthcare system is experiencing significant workforce shortages because of the high rates of virus transmission. Skilled nursing facilities and hospitals reported the highest share of cases among staff members, with nurses accounting for 27% of new infections late last week. 1/3 of all healthcare workers have reported being exposed to a known case at their facility. Dr. Ferrer says vaccinated individuals are 10 to 30 times less likely to need hospital care than those who are unvaccinated. She urges those who still have not gotten their shots to get them now. Well, guidelines are changing in California for healthcare workers with COVID-19 as Omicron cases continue to surge and staffing shortages increase. The state's Department of Public Health says healthcare workers won't have to isolate or test negative to go back to work if they are asymptomatic until February 1st. The new COVID isolation guidelines come as nearly a quarter of all U.S. hospitals report a critical staffing shortage. Dr. Maria Raven, the chief of emergency medicine at UCSF Parnassus campus, says people without symptoms should be able to come to work because a nurse calling out means they can't open an entire zone in the emergency department. The guidance change goes against the CDC's recommendation for anyone who tests positive to isolate for 5 days with or without symptoms. California's Department of Public Health is requiring hospitals to choose this option after exhausting every other one and requiring asymptomatic healthcare workers to wear N95 masks at all times. Health officials say facilities and providers using this option should have asymptomatic COVID-positive workers interact only with COVID-positive patients to the extent possible. Meanwhile, the California Nurses Association believes this change will put patients and other hospital staff at risk. Well, more than 200 National Guard members are helping to provide staffing for COVID-19 testing centers across California. Governor Gavin Newsom activated the Military Reserve Force to support local communities with additional testing facilities and capacity. Now, this new action is in addition to the existing 6,000 testing sites set up across the state. The California Guard members will be deployed across 50 Optum Serve sites, providing interim clinical staff while permanent staff members are hired. Their presence adds capacity for walk-ins, assists with crowd control, fills in for staff absences, and bolsters the state's testing program. Now, currently, 90% of Californians live within a 30-minute drive of a site. Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order on Saturday that prevents price gouging of at-home COVID-19 tests. Now, he says the order prohibits sellers from increasing prices on the test kits by more than 10%. It also gives additional tools to the California Department of Justice and local law enforcement agencies to take action against price gougers. The governor also proposed a $2.7 billion COVID-19 emergency response package over the weekend. He says it is the largest package of its kind in the nation and would allocate $1.4 billion towards COVID-19 testing, vaccination, and booster efforts while also fighting misinformation. A dozen YMCA locations in Southern California, including the one right here in Torrance, are offering COVID-19 testing. Now, this comes as the high demand for testing overwhelms many local sites. This gives residents another option to get tested when recent shortages have led to long lines, with some people waiting for hours. The tests at the YMCA are free and no appointment is needed. Many of the locations are open on Saturdays. The Torrance South Bay YMCA is located at 2900 West Sepulveda Boulevard from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Mondays through Fridays and from 8 to noon on Saturdays. The YMCA also offers free COVID-19 vaccines with no proof of insurance required. Hospitalizations among children under 5 soared to their highest level since the pandemic began. This group is too young to get vaccinated, and medical experts say it's yet another reminder for older kids and adults to get their shots in an effort to protect those around them. The hospitalization rate in these kids has been rising since mid-December, and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says it's mostly driven by high rates in 5 states: California, Connecticut, Georgia, Oregon, and Tennessee. Orange County, well, they reported its 3rd COVID-19 related pediatric death of a child younger than 5 on Thursday. A doctor in Seattle says most of the COVID positive kids in their hospital are not actually there for the virus, but for other issues. They just happen to have tested positive when admitted. It's a similar trend to what we're seeing at hospitals across the country with older patients. Health experts say many children hospitalized with COVID-19 have other health conditions that make them more vulnerable to complications from the virus, including diabetes, lung disease, and obesity. A separate CDC report found children who had COVID-19 were more than twice as likely to be diagnosed with diabetes compared to those who did not get infected. The Biden administration signed its first contract to ship free COVID-19 rapid tests across the U.S. President Joe Biden's goal, well, it's to distribute 500 million of these tests to Americans. The Department of Defense awarded a $51 million contract to Gold Belt Security, LLC, for delivery of these over-the-counter COVID-19 test kits. A White House official says they're purchasing existing tests that the company has with this contract. The administration plans to sign other contracts for manufacturing. It also expects to launch a website this month where people can sign up for the tests online and then ship them out. Last week, the president directed federal funding through the Federal Emergency Management Agency to assist in the deployment of COVID-19 testing. Now, he noted they have more work to do after witnessing the long lines of people waiting to get tested for the virus in recent weeks. UCLA became the latest college campus to extend remote learning due to the current COVID-19 surge. In-person instruction has been postponed through January 28th. Many UC campuses announced a 2-week delay to students' return to classrooms, along with a booster mandate after winter break. But now, several campuses are extending the return date even more as infections and hospitalization numbers continue to climb. UCLA recorded more than 1,200 new COVID-19 cases among faculty, staff, and students since the beginning of this month, and it's impacting the campus's teaching and other services. There's another issue, too. Only about 34% of eligible UCLA students got their boosters, a, quote, smaller than anticipated percentage according to school officials. UCLA's announcement came after the county reported more than 27,000 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday, the highest single-day level for the county since the start of the pandemic. The National Hockey League postponed a total of more than 100 games due to COVID-19 related issues this season. The Ottawa Senators road games against the Vancouver Canucks and against the Winnipeg Jets were the most recent games to get pushed back. The league says it plans to reschedule those games for later in the season when attendance restrictions in Canada may be eased or lifted. A recent study shows that the Pfizer vaccine is very effective at preventing teens from a serious health condition. The CDC says the vaccine proved to be 91% effective at protecting adolescents from multi-system inflammatory syndrome. MISC is strongly linked to COVID-19 infection and afflicts the heart, lungs, brain, skin, eyes, or gastrointestinal organs. Children usually develop this condition 2 to 6 weeks after an asymptomatic or mild COVID-19 infection. The study took place when Delta was the predominant variant from July to December of last year. Researchers looked at 283 hospitalized patients ages 12 to 18 across 24 pediatric hospitals in 20 states. More than 6,000 children developed MISC since May of 2020, and 55 of them have died. Of the known cases, 98% tested positive for COVID-19, while 2% had exposure to the virus. Children ages 5 and up can now get a Pfizer vaccine, and adolescents 12 and up can get boosted at least 5 months after their second dose. Well, more than 28,000 pounds of ground beef products are being recalled due to a possible E. coli contamination. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Safety and Inspection Service says the raw ground beef items are being recalled by Interstate Meat Distributors, Inc. They were produced on December 20th, 2021 and sold by Albertsons, Kroger, Walmart, and Winco in several states, including California. The packaging has the establishment number EST 965 inside the USDA mark of inspection or printed next to the timestamp or use by date. E. coli is a potentially deadly bacterium that can cause dehydration, bloody diarrhea, and abdominal cramps 2 to 8 days after exposure. Now, while most people recover within a week, some can develop a type of kidney failure. Consumers are being urged to check their freezers and refrigerators and throw them away or return them to the place of purchase. The Super Bowl halftime show will go on next month despite the pandemic, and it needs a lot of people to help out. Organizers are hiring about 500 people from the LA area to serve as field team members at SoFi Stadium. These individuals will assist with the performance stage and specific elements set up for the halftime show. They must be available for all rehearsals and able to lift up to 50 pounds of weight. The February 13th show will feature Dr. Dre, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and Snoop Dogg. LA area residents can apply by logging on to superbowlproductions.com. Well, we're now almost halfway through January, and if you still have a real Christmas tree, it's time to get rid of it. The National Fire Prevention Association says dried out trees can actually become a fire hazard and should not be left in the home, garage, or placed outside against the home. Firefighters say a Christmas tree fire can actually go up really quickly and easily get out of control. They say the needles start drying up and get brittle, so do not take any chances. The NFPA says a heat source too close to the tree causes more than 1 in every 5 Christmas tree fires. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel good stories from our community, pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. The 2022 South Bay's Got Talent, put on by the Torrance Cultural Arts Foundation, took place over the weekend and featured more than 20 acts, including about a dozen Torrance-based performers.
The fancy cars, the glitter and the fame, it's on us, but it won't be worth a thing. Love is bigger, so I'ma stand up for love, yeah.
Hay ausencias que triunfan y la nuestra triunfó. Amémonos ahora con la paz que en otros tiempos nos faltó.
Those are the top 3 winners of this year's competition. More than 20 contestants showed off their skills at the James Armstrong Theater. Moises Lopez from Gardena took home the top prize, which includes a $500 cash award and a trophy, plus full entry registration fee scholarship to the next available World Championships of the Performing Arts, worth close to $1,700. Amari Scott and Sajini Wiraskara, both Torrance residents, came in second and third. Due to the pandemic, organizers had to make a number of changes to keep everyone safe. They also added live streaming of the show for those who did not feel comfortable sitting inside the theater to watch the performances, and to make it easier for faraway family and friends to cheer on their favorite acts. Congratulations to the winners and all the participants for putting on an inspiring show. Now, if you have a great story, an upcoming event, a photo or video you would like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We would love to hear from you. Well, that is our update for COVID-19 Today. We will see you back here tomorrow as Rhiannon Trutanich brings you the latest. Please be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time. I heard Allison scream at the very